The human named Leon stood at the threshold of the grand chamber, unsure whether stepping forward was bravery or foolishness. The hall of the Cathari Empire rose like a carved canyon of silver stone, shaped by hands that understood gravity and beauty in equal measure. Towering pillars shimmered with faint blue light, casting soft reflections across the polished floor. Every guard in the chamber, each one a towering figure of scaled armor and restrained strength, watched him with suspicion. Leon had grown used to such looks since the earliest days of his journey among them, yet the weight of their silent judgment pressed on his shoulders. He clutched the cloth bag in his hands, small and unimpressive compared to the grandeur around him. In that moment, he questioned whether bringing it had been folly. The Cathari valued ceremony, power, and flawless craftsmanship. What he carried was nothing of the sort, yet it meant something to him. He hoped it might mean something to the one he intended it for. The queen waited on her high seat, a throne carved from a single piece of luminous stone that radiated a gentle glow. The queen was named Arana, and she possessed a calm strength that rose from every measured movement she made. Her presence was never loud or violent. Instead, it carried stillness, like deep waters that could change the course of rivers without a ripple. Her blue eyes, bright and reflecting the chamber's light, rested on Leon as he approached. Had known countless species across the stars, many of them strong in war or skilled in intellect. Very few were unpredictable, but humans had always confounded their expectations. Arana's counselors whispered of human stubbornness, human resilience, human refusal to accept defeat. Yet the queen herself remained curious, preferring to observe rather than assume. Leon reached the base of the steps and bowed, a gesture the Cathari had learned from humans and had come to associate with respect rather than submission. Arana's gaze softened by the smallest degree. "You may stand," the queen said, her voice smooth and steady. Leon rose. His heart beat fast, though he kept his voice level when he spoke. "Your Majesty, I come to offer thanks for your help during the aftermath of the border conflict. My people survived because yours intervened. I have nothing of grand worth, but I have something that is dear to me. I wanted you to have it." A murmur drifted through the chamber. It was rare for foreign visitors to present anything to the queen that was not a political gesture. The guards shifted slightly, unsure whether to intervene. Arana lifted a hand, and the hall quieted. "You wish to give a personal offering?" she asked. Leon nodded. He pulled the cloth bag open and withdrew a small wooden carving. It was a simple figure shaped like a bird with outstretched wings. The carving was rough, the edges uneven in places, yet it had a certain gentle charm. Human hands had worked it slowly, with time and memory etched into each mark. He held it out with steady arms. "This is something my father gave me when I was younger," Leon said. "He told me humans carve small things to remember the beauty they find. He said that when you give something like this to someone, it means you want them to know they matter. I wanted you to have it." Arana stared at the object without speaking. Her guards tensed, uncertain how she would react to such an unfamiliar gesture. A personal gift offered to a monarch who commanded fleets and governed star systems seemed almost absurd. Yet Arana did not appear insulted. She rose from her seat and descended the steps with slow, deliberate steps. Her gaze never left the carving. She stopped before Leon. For a moment, neither spoke. "May I hold it?" she asked softly. Leon nodded and placed it gently into her hands. The small wooden bird looked impossibly fragile in her grip, as if the slightest pressure would break it. She lifted it to the light, turning it as though it were something rare. Her eyes softened in a way even the guards had never seen before. "It is imperfect," Arana said. "Yet it carries intention beyond physical worth. It carries memory. It carries meaning. In our culture, something shaped by hand rather than machine is a treasure unlike any other. It means time was spent. Time is the most difficult thing to give. Leon released a breath he did not realize he had been holding. Arana held the carving carefully, almost reverently. I do not understand why you would give something so personal, she said. Because you saved people who mattered to me, Leon replied. And because when I look at you, I see someone who leads with kindness, not fear. That deserves thanks. Her expression shifted subtly. Something warm flickered behind her composed exterior. A counselor stepped forward hesitantly. Your Majesty, it is not proper for the first monarch to accept unsanctioned foreign artifacts without study. Arana held up the carving. This is not an artifact of war or power. This is a piece of a human life. I will accept it. The hall fell silent again. Arana turned the carving over once more before looking back at Leon. You honor me, she said. Leon smiled awkwardly. I wasn't sure if it was appropriate. Arana shook her head lightly. In all the years I have sat on the throne, I have received jewels, weapons, star maps, purified minerals, even new species of cultivated plants. None of them carried the essence of a living memory. None of them were touched by the hands of the giver's own family. Those gifts were offered to the queen. This was offered to me. Leon blinked in surprise. Is that a problem? He asked. Arana gave a soft laugh, a gentle sound like water on stone. No, it is astonishing. She lifted the carving to her chest, as though holding something precious. In our history, she said, the Cathari rarely accept objects that have belonged to others unless a bond has been formed between giver and recipient. It is a cultural belief. To accept is to acknowledge trust. To accept is to declare connection. No human has ever given us such a personal item. No human has ever offered something that carries more heart than function. I did not expect this from you. Leon felt heat rise to his face. I didn't mean to break any custom. Arana placed a hand gently on his shoulder, surprising him and everyone watching. You have offered something honest. Honesty does not break culture. It strengthens it. The chamber remained still, as if the air itself waited to see what she would do next. Arana turned to her guards. Record this moment, she said. Let it be known that a human offered the first monarch gift of memory. Let it also be known that it was accepted. One of the guards bowed deeply. As you command, Your Majesty. Arana looked back at Leon. Your people think of us as distant, she said, as cold, as rulers who act through logic alone. But you have shown that sincerity can cross the space between species. You have given something that speaks of who you are. It is valuable beyond measure. Leon scratched the back of his neck. I just wanted to thank you. And you have done so in a way far greater than you imagine. She ascended the steps once more and returned to her seat, still holding the carving. Leon, Arana said, there will come a time when your world and mine must decide whether we stand together. Many on my council believe humans are too chaotic, too unpredictable. But I will tell them of this gift. I will tell them of thee. Way a human offered something precious without expecting anything in return. That alone will shift the path of diplomacy. I didn't realize it could mean that much. It does, she said. Humans often claim their strength lies in resilience or ambition. I believe your strength lies in your heart. Leon bowed again. Thank you, Your Majesty. Before you leave, Arana said, allow me to give something in return. Leon hesitated. That isn't necessary. It is, she said. A gift offered must be honored. She removed a small ring from her finger. It was silver, shaped with elegant lines that curled like flowing water. In the center sat a faintly glowing stone. She held it out to him. This ring is carved from a mineral found only on the homeworld of the Cathari. The stone is a symbol of guardianship. It is worn by one who is recognized as a friend of the throne. I do not give it lightly. Leon stared at it in disbelief. I can't take something like that. You can, Arana said. And you will, for you have given something to me freely. I choose to give something in return freely. He reached out and accepted the ring, feeling the cool metal against his palm. I don't know what to say? Then say nothing. Wear it when you choose, or keep it close. It is yours. Leon bowed once more, deeper than before, and turned to leave. As he walked past the guards, their eyes followed him with something new. Respect, curiosity, even admiration. When he reached the hall's exit, he paused and looked back. Arana still held the carving. She held it carefully, almost lovingly, her expression thoughtful as she studied it. For a brief moment, she met his gaze. She nodded once, slow and meaningful. Leon nodded back before stepping out of the chamber. The doors closed behind him with a soft dot in the quiet that followed. One of the counselors cleared his throat. Your Majesty, he said, this human has changed something in you. Arana's eyes did not leave the carving. Yes, she said. He has. What will you do now? The counselor asked. Arana lifted the carving once more, studying it as though it carried the voice of the one who made it. I will remember, she said. I will remember that connection can shape futures more than treaties. I will remember that a simple gift can carry the weight of peace. She placed the carving beside her throne, as though it belonged there. And in the silence of the great hall, the alien queen looked down at the human's gift, and her heart felt something unfamiliar. It felt